Mm. Good afternoon.
Okay. Sir, Director, sir, can we start the meeting?
Very sure, sir.
Sir, you close this thing, sir. Sir, is there, sir. See, sir, is there, that we are unable to hear, sir. Voice is not. Can I use this? Okay, request went. Please.
No, we will start now.
Yes, sir, sound is not coming.
Sound is coming for us. Here coming.
We are unable to.
Resound.
Speak, he can hear.
I
Hello,
am here.
good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. With the kind permission of our director, sir, can we start the program, sir?
I'm not able to speak to you because okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir, audible, sir.
Possible?
We are able to hear you, sir.
Are you able
Yes,
to
sir.
see me?
Yes, sir. You are both close and audible.
Are you able to see me?
We are able to.
Okay, please
Yes, sir.
start the program.
You are both view. Can we? Yes, sir, we can see you.
Okay, okay.
Can we start the program, sir?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Please start the program urgently. Because we are already late.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Of our honorable
Good afternoon.
NIT Andhra Pradesh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our Honorable Director, NIT Andhra Pradesh,
For the upcoming
Professor
India International
CSP Rao, sir.
2020. May I now request Professor D.R.K. Sastry to kind.
We welcome you all for this curtain raiser event for the upcoming National Science Festival. Kindly take over the session. Thank you.
NIT Andhra Pradesh is very fortunate to inaugurate. It is very fortunate to inaugurate I
Dr. G. Madhavan Nair, ISRO Director, and Dr. Anil Kakodkar, former Atomic Commissioner, and Advisory Board for the VIBA is Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Member NITI Aayog, Dr. Satish Shenjil, Dr. Subhash Pednekar, Dr. Vaika Gupta, and the President here is Vijay P. Bhatkar, and Organizing Secretary Sri Jayant Sahasrabuddhaji, and National Secretary. Today we are very honored that Vivekananda Pai, he is also our chief guest. He is giving the keynote speech. In okay, okay, okay. So in this, just I want to introduce about the Indian International Science Festival. This is the sixth one, and the first one is in the 2015 IIT Delhi. It was hosted by 2nd December 2016. It is hosted by CSIR NPL New Delhi. 3rd October 2017 IIT Madras, and 4th October 2018 and Indira Gandhi Parishan Lucknow, and 5th one held in November 2019 Vishwa Bangla Convention Center, Kolkata. So here the theme for this is Science for Self-Reliant India and Global Welfare, and this is jointly organized by all the ministries, including Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Science, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, CSIR NISTADS, Vijnana Bharati, and state, that is VIBA, and state unit Bharati Vidyan Mandal. So in this, the major organizers patrons are for the VIBA, Professor K.I. Vasu, Professor G. Madhavan Nair, ISRO Director, former Director, Dr. Anil Kakodkar, former Atomic Commissioner, Chairman, and advisory board is Dr. V.K. Saraswat, member NITI Aayog, and Dr. Satish Shenoy, and Dr. Subhash Patnaikar, Dr. Y.K. Gupta, principal advisor DBT, and the president of VIBA is Vijay P. Bhatkar, and organizing secretary Sri Jayant Sahasrabuddhe, and the national secretary is Vivekananda Pai, one of the three. Today we are fortunate that he is giving the keynote address. In this regard, a small play of video which is curtain riser throughout the India. It is given by the Ministry of Science and Technology Minister, Honorable Harsha Kumarji. I request to play that video. Thank you.
Of the 6th India International Science.
This also.
No, you can invite.
Everything. We will stop presentation. Is muted. Thank you. May I now request our in-charge registrar, Dr. Dinesh P. Shankar Reddy sir, to kindly share an overview of our institute, NIT Andhra Pradesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. Respected Director, NIT Andhra Pradesh, Professor C.S.P. Rao. Today's distinguished speaker, Shri Vivekananda Pai, Secretary VBHA, Professor P.S. Avadhani, former Director IIIT Agatala, Coordinator of this event, Professor G.R.K. Sastry, heads of various departments, associate deans, their colleagues, and all my dear students and other participants. Very good afternoon to all of you. Very briefly, I'll be giving you the overview of the journey of NIT Andhra Pradesh during the past 5 years. NIT Andhra Pradesh was established in the year 2015 at Tadepalligudem town with an intake of 480 students in 8 disciplines of engineering. It is the 31st NIT and the youngest of all the NITs in the country. So during the first 4 years, NIT Andhra Pradesh functioned from 2 transitory campuses, and the students were accommodated at 7 to 8 different places in and around Tadepalligudem. In the year 2018, March, Professor C.S.P. Rao was appointed as the founder director of NIT Andhra Pradesh. With his distinct vision and persistence, also with the support of CPWD, we could able to get 50,000 square meters of area got constructed within 10 months of time, which is a record till date. By December 2019, one academic complex, one laboratory complex, 3 workshops, boys hostel blocks, girls hostel blocks, faculty and non-teaching quarters, guest house and open sports arena facilities were completed. So from the month of December 2019, all the operations of NIT Andhra Pradesh were started operating from its permanent campus. So on 27th October 2020, Honorable Union Minister of Education, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, has inaugurated several of these facilities and dedicated the NIT Andhra Pradesh campus to the nation. Honorable Minister has highly appreciated the Director for his dedicated efforts in timely completion of the construction activities in the campus and for becoming a role model to other new NITs in terms of rapid progress of pace of construction activities. Without the effect of COVID, by this time we would have already secured 50,000 square meters of additional area. We are hopeful that in another 1 to 2 months, we'll be getting that area also, with which the NIT Andhra Pradesh can cater all the required amenities to its stakeholders. From the year 2019, the institute has started PhD program, both regular and part-time, and MS by research program in all the disciplines of engineering, and also in sciences, humanities, and management. From the current academic year, MTech program was started in 6 specializations of engineering, and also the UG intake was increased to 600. As on date, the institute has 47 regular and 70 ad hoc faculty members, 65 regular non-teaching staff, supported by nearly 200 outsourced staff. With the dedicated efforts of the faculty during the past 2 years, the institute has got 20 funded research projects worth of 47 million rupees and has spent 11 MOUs with prestigious organizations like IIT Kanpur, NIT Surathkal, National Highway Authority of India, McLean Solutions, etc. And MOUs with IIT Hyderabad and IIT Bombay are in pipeline. Recently, the institute has got a big consultancy project from Polavaram Authority. NIT Andhra Pradesh has earned its name in providing placements to its students. For the first batch of students, institute has provided 70 to 80% placements with an annual CPC of 6.5 lakh rupees. For the next batch, the placement percentage was around 60 to 70%. Even the current placement season is also progressing as per our expectations. Along with placements, the students of the institute were motivated to pursue higher education and also to become entrepreneurs. For the next 5 years, NIT Andhra Pradesh is focusing to create 2 high-end infrastructural facilities, which include few centers of excellences, one centralized instrumentation center.
Thank you for enlightening us about our institute. May I now request Professor G.R.K. Sastry sir to kindly introduce our Honorable Director to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun.
Yeah. Mute. I am very happy to introduce our PhDs and the construction activities, everything was elaborated by our Honorable Registrar in charge. Thank you, sir. I request Professor CSP Rao Garu to give his valuable speech on IISF, India International Science Festival. Thank you, sir. Over to Professor CSP Rao Garu.
Thank you, Sastri. Am I audible to you? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. On the behalf of National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh, and on my personal behalf, I welcome you all for this curtain raiser event to the 6th International India International Science Festival, IISF 2020. I welcome the teachers of this institution, students, and all the people on the web in this webinar. I welcome especially Sri Vivekananda Pai, National Secretary Vibha, Professor Avadhani, and all others for this event. Yesterday, Mr. Sastri from Bharatiya Vijnana Mandali Andhra Pradesh chapter has contacted me and I requested me to conduct this program because India International Science Festival is going to be held in a virtual mode from December 22nd to 25th on the occasion of birth anniversary of Sri Ramanujam, Srinivasa Ramanujam, a great mathematician. Immediately, I contacted my colleagues, Professor G.R.K. Shastri and Dr. Veeresh Kumar and Dr. Arun Kumar to conduct the proceedings so that the maximum participation of the students and all the stakeholders should take place. As per that, this kickstart or curtain raiser event has been planned and being executed. It gives me immense pleasure to invite you all to this curtain raiser event. I'm happy to learn the 6th Indian International Science Festival will be held in virtual mode. This meet shall be a reflection of innovative ideas and technologies of Indian science and technology, Atmanirbhar Bharat and global welfare as observed by Honorable Union Minister for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences and Health and Family Welfare, Sri Dr. Harshvardhan. CSIR is bestowed with the responsibility to spearhead the activities of IISF 2020 with the support of all other concerned ministries and departments. Besides promoting love and passion for science among young people, students by bringing science outside the laboratory, IISF 2020 must also reflect on the role of Indian scientists and S&T innovations for not just Atmanirbhar Bharat, but global welfare as well. It is time to make the world see the role of Indian scientists to address global challenges and people welfare. We all know that there are famous scientists in India exist in the ancient times as well as in modern times. Some of the scientists like, Kanad, Varahamitra, Nagarjuna, and the contributions of Charak in the form of Charak Samhita, an Ayurvedic book for medicines. Similarly, the contributions of Sustruta, the greatest surgeon who used to do rhinoplasty and ophthalmic surgery. They are all ancient scientists, and science of yoga was developed in ancient India as an elite science for Ayurvedic for healing without medicines at the physical and mental level. Patanjali was the first scholar to present these great scientific ideas. If you see the works of people like Ramanujam, Srinivas Ramanujam, great, almost a brilliant mathematician, world-known brilliant mathematician who exists 1887 to 1920. Sir C.V. Raman, we all know that he is a great physicist, and C.V. Raman effect for which he got Nobel Prize in 1930. Prafulla Chandra Roy, 1861 to 1944, he is a pharmacist, and he has done excellent work in in chemistry. And first pharmacology company he started in India. Hargobind Khorana, 1922 to 2011. He is a biochemist known for his excellence in demonstrating how the nucleic in the nucleic acid controls the synthesis of proteins. S.S. Abhyankar, 1930 to 2012, famous for his outstanding contribution to algebraic geometry and a great mathematician as well. And we also know Meghna Saha, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar is astrophysicist. Subramaniam Chandrasekhar got Nobel Prize in 1983. And Jagdish Chandra Bose, 1857 to 1937, is a physicist, biologist, and archaeologist. And Sachendranath Bose, 1894 to 1974, is a mathematician, physics, best known for his collaboration with Albert Einstein and the great APJ Abdul Kalam sir. All these people are great scientists from our Bharat. But there are many more people. Almost the country is having 130 crores of population, but the scientific contributions of Indians are not seen the day of the light, or many more are to be expected from Indians. Hence, the role of Vigyan Bharati is to promote the scientific culture amongst youth, and it has to reach all the youth in the institutes, as well as the people who are well to do with science and technology. Indian International Science Festival is a unique combination of seminars, workshops, exhibitions, lectures, panel discussions, debates with interactive form of engagement, including hands-on demos and science-related theater, music, poetry. The Science Festival provides a vibrant environment for students and citizens from all walks of life to witness science and technology in action, and are designed to instill creativity, critical thinking, ability to solve problems, and teamwork amongst youth to lead the country forward. IISF also support the flagship programs like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Make in India, Digital India, Smart Villages, Namami Ganga, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, initiated by Honorable Prime Minister. Every year and after year, the festival gaining momentum and masses. Several lakhs of visitors and several thousands of delegates have registered to participate in the previous festivals. Almost the Guinness Book of World Records for number of registration for any kind of conference like that has been received by this by IISF. In order to offer the relevant background of information to the participant, I would like to inform that the first and second IISF were held in New Delhi, and the third in Chennai, and fourth in Lucknow, and the fifth IISF was held in Kolkata, and the sixth one is due, which is now planned to conduct in virtual mode. IISF 2020 experts participation of large number of scientists and institutions from India and abroad, as well as young people. Several events are expected to be lined up on various themes before and during IISF 2020. So I request all my students of all years, not only first years, all years MTech PhD students on the faculty to register for this conference and promote the culture of science and technology in India. Science has been the integral part of the culture and tradition existing in our country. Practices across our country are not due to blind belief, but are all having some scientific and technological significance. Ancient India was known for rich science contributions. You all know that. The civilization of Harappa, Mohenjo-daro are ample proof that ancient India was more advanced than the rest of the world at that time. You see, the Varanasi is the oldest city where science and technological contributions were evolved even before US telescope which are used to view planetary objects. Indian had rich documentation on the study of planetary objects through Vanasastra. Several decades earlier to the invention of optical microscopes and electronic microscope, rich understanding of atomic and subatomic species is available in Indian literature and scientific. The construction of temples was made not only showcase the architectural knowledge of our engineers, but through which various scientific understanding were demonstrated. Though the statues in the temples and systematic evaluation of mankind is depicted with the statues in the towers of pillars of temple. Today, the worth understanding the various important body postures to be followed for yoga and meditation. Temples were also important shelters to people during the time of natural calamities and disasters. The underground drainage system seemed to exist in South India, in the town of Tamil Nadu, Madurai, thousands of years ago. Ancient engineers, Indian engineers, had tremendous knowledge of Vastu Shastra, the context that helps build houses. Houses were built taking into the account of natural wind flow and the direction of wind flow, which is very important for well-ventilated structure. Predictions of climate seasons exist in ancient India. The systematic movements of northward, southward movement of Earth on the celestial sphere every 6 months, normally called Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, were predicted with precision and accuracy. The movement occurs every December and June every year. We all know this. Based on the seasons, the crops were chosen to be shown by the traditional agriculturists. The idea of storing water was born in the mind earlier. In order to facilitate the storage of water and to increase the groundwater level, every temple had a pond wherein water due to rain and other sources were preserved. In order to respect the preserved nation, the elements of nature, wind, water, air, sky, fire, all Panchabhutas gained prominence in Indian context. This clearly demonstrates the importance that our ancestors offered in preserving natural bodies. Festivals in India were always connected with science and natural worships. All the festivals had rituals that provided spiritual, mental, and emotional well being. Today, we do understand that science is very important for betterment of our lives. Long back, our beloved former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said that India means Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan, Jai Vignan. Such is the importance of Vignan. Research institutes have an important role to play for development of the country through active involvement in science and technology. We, the academicians and researchers at top-notch institutions like NITs and IITs, shall take up focused research in enhanced quality of drinking water, taking up of research initiatives in the sector of energy through renewable sectors, increasing the internal and external security issues. We at NIT Andhra Pradesh are promoting use of solar energy. Almost we are able to save 2 to 3 lakhs of rupees per month because of solar power. And we are planning to increase the use of solar power in future. Almost at one point, we do not depend on the um, you know, Andhra Pradesh electrical energy. We will only depend upon the solar power. It is Atmanirbhar for NIT Andhra Pradesh. With these few words, I express my happiness for hosting this curtain raiser event in connection with the 6th India International Science Festival 2020. I request all the future engineers and future scientists who are all on the line and participating in this webinar to promote the scientific temperament among yourself, scientific and find new inventions. You try to observe a problem in and around you and try to give a solution on your own and more than one solution on your own and try to give a scientific solution and technologically proven solution which can be later patented. And I request all you to do such kind of research and increase the patent culture in India, and thereby returns some kind of monetary benefit we will gain by the nation, and the Indian technology will be spread over at the global level itself. We look forward to associate and learn from the experts who are going to deliver their lectures during this event. NIT Andhra Pradesh is committed to impart quality education in online and in line with the expected standards of Government of India as envisaged through National Education Policy 2020. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening lecture and your opening remarks on this auspicious occasion. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. May I now request Professor G.R.K. Sastry, sir, to kindly introduce the speaker of today's function, Professor P.S. Avadani, former Director, IIIT Agartala. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. I am very much thankful to our director, sir, who enlightened this curtain raiser function with the words of former Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and Jai Vijnan. So he given a very elaborative lecture. Now I am very much privileged to introduce Professor P.S. Savadani Garu. He is a former director in IIIT Agartala. He served as the principal in Andhra University College of Engineering. He was a former member of a prestigious curriculum development board in the UGC, and he published more than 100 research papers. He had received many awards such as Best Teacher, Best Researcher from Andhra Pradesh government as well as Andhra University and many organizations. He is a member in the National Board of Accreditation. He is a fellow member in more than 10 prestigious organizations. He published one textbook, Computer Graphics, and uh, may I now request Professor P.S.
Has already said, it is started, it is the sixth one now to be held, and it involves every Ministry of Science and Technology and also every director or director general or the top people of all the scientific organizations of India. The idea is that we have to project or we have to rather inculcate the habit of scientific temperament and then make them aware the developments in India to our younger generations. After all, many of us know many things we learned during our studies, but however, we do not know the contributions of our scientists. For example, just now when Professor Rao was speaking about Ramanujan, I just remembered one small thing. I'm sure all of you know, everybody must have withdrawn cash from ATM. So everybody must have used ATM. So ATM means withdrawing money from a teller machine. But the point is here, how does it act? Supposing you wanted to withdraw, let us say 1,000 rupees. The choice can be two 500s or one 500 and one 500 notes, or one 500, maybe if 200 notes are there, two 200 note and 100 note, and all possibilities. These are the possibilities. How that is done? That is algorithm. The algorithm was designed by none other than the great mathematician Ramanujan. He has done it partitions. So there is a formula for partitions which is now being used in the ATM machines for withdrawal of money. How many of our students, how many of our scientists, how many of our people know this? I'm not talking about the contributions. Actually, I'm really happy that Professor Rao Garu has talked from Varaha Mihira and Susruta and Kanaduru and so on. So I just wanted to give another example. Yellapragada Subbarao. Yellapragada Subbarao, he's a famous biochemistry man, and who has rather invented tetracycline-like things for cancer drugs. Yellapragada Subbarao, we have never heard about him, never heard in any of our textbooks. Why textbooks? Nobody talked about him. These are, Ramanujan, as already said by the director, 1887 to 1920. Only 33 years. Done lots of things. But none of the works of Ramanujan are mentioned in any of the books. So, that apart, Yellapragada Subbarao, I told you. And how many of us know what are the contributions of S.N. Bose, Satyendranath Bose? So, recently, there is one thing named after him as Boson particle. How many of you, actually, I was asked by, I'm really honored to say this, I was asked by our Andhra Pradesh BVM. BVM is the part of Vibha, is the state unit of Vibha. BVM means Bharati Vijnana Mandali. So we wanted to translate the works of, not the works, the biography of Jagdish Chandra Bose last year, for the sake of our students to know in Telugu. And I have translated most of it. So then I realized that many of the things which I don't know about him, even his scientific contributions, then that led me to that some inquisitiveness. I got it from that book to see the Bose Institute in Calcutta. I went there and have seen the institute. Till then I did not go. So then I realized that yes, so many things are there. So what I'm trying to say is, we don't know what is the contribution of Jagdish Chandra Bose. We know Jagdish Chandra Bose is a great scientist of India. Our children also know about it. Even some of them they do not know even that. So that apart, many of our great scientists, which are named just now by Rao Garu, we don't know about their contributions. Though, for example, Raman effect. Raman effect, how many of them know, and then where is it mentioned in many of the books? It is not. So forget about the ancient contributions. For example, the value of pi in a Sanskrit sloka, it is there. Why? In computer science, for example, natural language processing, Panini's grammar, Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi has given a formal grammar to Sanskrit by Panini. And that is exactly the formalism being used by Bacchus and Naur, who have designed the formalism independently, of course, for any formal language like any computer language. So they have given formalism, and which was actually designed by Panini some centuries back. So you have to, people say that it should be called a Panini Bacchus Naur form. So many of our Indians, the contributions to science technology is too much. For example, when Clinton visited India, he mentioned a statement saying that half of the world's wealth should go to India because zero is invented by Indians. And then there are ones and zeros. It's all now computers. So you have only binary system. So by probability, how many ones are there, how many zeros will be used? Same thing. So half of the wealth must be for India. So because unfortunately, we never bother about, even the modern times, many of our inventions, even Jagadish Chandra Bose was requested to patent his invents. He said, invention. He said it is for the people to use it, and then I don't. It is for the world, as it is. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. So the most of the companies, they get their money now because of their patents. Even for example, MasterCard, Visa card, for each transaction, they get a small amount of money, which makes a bigger one, lots of money when many transactions happen. Similarly, our invention should be patented. That is not there in India, that patenting culture that has to grow. Then only things happen. For example, we coming back to Vibha Vijnana Bharati. I told you it's a national level organization wherein BVM, Bharati Vijnana Mandali, is the state body of Vibha. I'm being the president of BVM. I'm telling you the details. It is basically in one line statement, if I have to make about Vibha, it is Swadeshi Science Movement. What does it mean? See, we have to inculcate scientific temperament in our young children. We have to make them proud, make them aware, make them know the contributions of our Indians, whether they're ancient and now also. For example, Prafula Chandra Rai, PC Rai, and many people contributed a lot. Even Dr. Abdul Kalam, and all these people should know their, if not their total contributions, but at least they should know at that level in what areas are their contributions are, so that makes them understand the level of scientific innovations in India and the contributions. In fact, now the BVM, the Bharati Vijnana Mandali, is present in all 13 districts of Andhra Pradesh and conducts many programs, including lectures, including recently we have conducted quiz program for students as well. And so it is now an appeal to all the members, and then to see that they become members of Vibha and members of BVM. I mean, becoming a member of BVM means becoming a member of Vibha. Okay, and it's the membership is also not much. It is life member is 1,000 rupees only, and actually we know that there are many contributions. For example, the Param supercomputer, when Cray is a supercomputer which was requested by India to America, made a request for the supply of Cray. They say they have supplied the Cray computer, but only with limited capabilities, because they say that you fellows, you will use it for your defense applications. So we don't want you to use your defense applications. Then we thought that why not we develop our systems? And then there was CDAC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, is set up, and then for which the director was Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who is the president of Vijnana Bharati at the national level now. And we means Indians, under the stewardship of him, developed Param supercomputer. Param is the name of the supercomputer, which is at that time 50 times faster, 10 times faster than Cray, the supercomputer of America, and 50 times cheaper than Cray. Param means parallel processing machine. That's parallel processing is also part of it. So what I'm saying is this. So when we were pushed to wall in supercomputing, Then we realized our potential and made many things. And defense also, we made Agni, Prithvi, Akash, and now you can see how we have really given a warning to China. Imagine. So great things have small beginnings. That small. So what our job is to just inculcate scientific temperament and then drive our young generations towards science and innovations. They then they create wonders. So there is a lot of energy among our students and our scientific community. The only thing is to make them realize their potential. Exactly that is the motto of VIPA and also BVM. So in this process, we as Vijnana Bharati wanted to bring in with the support of Government of India and of all the ministries, departments. So to bring in all scientists together and make India International Science Festival. And it will be a festival, as our Jayantji has rightly said in his video message. It is a festival. We wanted to make science as a festival. In fact, as Raugar has already said, our festivals have every festival has a scientific meaning behind that. Every festival you can verify and see. If you see the inner things in it, every festival is a science, and every science event we want to make it a festival. So in that process, India International Science Festival, we wanted to have 3 days festival from 22nd to 25th. 22nd is the birthday of Ramanujan. Yes, birthday of Ramanujan is 22nd December 1887. So it is 22nd to 25th. So it's as a tribute to a great mathematician Ramanujan, we want to start it. For example, in paintings, now if we see Swami Ram or Krishna, Lord Krishna, or if you see the paintings, how do you know that he was like that, and then how the painting has come? One of the great persons who is responsible for that type of paintings is Raja Ravi Verma. People can Google it out. He's a great painter, and then his contributions to the world is immense. And how many of us know? Nobody knows. So Raja Ravi Verma work, and every field of discipline. If you take music, if you take medicine, if you take even archery, for example, any even civil engineering, construction, so many temples. Wow. The intricacies among the temples, if you see in South especially, will really amazing. So we have all these things, but unfortunately, last 500 years or maybe 1,000 years, we were taken away from that. Now we are to prove that yes, we are a formidable force in the area of science in the world. Nobody can deny our right place in science. So to prove that, we have to conduct many such programs. And then I'm thankful to the NIT Andhra Pradesh to coming up for this curtain raiser program. And thank you all. And then I wish all of us give a great strength by registering ourselves to India International Science Festival 2020, and also become members of Vijnana Bharati in general and Bharati Vijnana Mandali in particular, becoming life members, so that we can contribute whatever little bit, whatever thing we can towards the improvement of science and technology in India. Thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, our today guest of honor, Professor P.S. Savdani Garu, for enlightening a lecture on introduction to IISF and VIBA. So you have given glimpses of Indian heritage and culture, science, and self-reliant and India and global welfare. So really we are fortunate, sir. And now I want to introduce our today's keynote speaker, Sri Vivekanand Pai Garu. He is a secretary, national secretary of VIBA, Vijnana Bharati, and he is a consultant architect and engineer. He is a full-time worker in Vijnana Bharati. So today, Vivekanand Paiji will speak on science for self-reliant India and global welfare. Today, the curtain raiser function, he will enlighten us. I request Sri Vivekanand Pai Garu to give his valuable speech. Over to Sri Vivekanand Pai Garu. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, ERK Shastri ji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Please, sir. Please.
Okay. Respected Director of NIT Andhra Pradesh, Professor CSP Rao Garu, respected Professor PS Avadani Garu, Shastri Garu, Dinesh Reddy Garu, and beloved students of NIT Andhra Pradesh and faculty members, Namaskar, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Today we are here on this online program for the curtain raiser program of India International Science Festival at Andhra Pradesh. After this, I understand that around 35 programs in different institutions across Andhra Pradesh are planned as part of this IISF Vigyan Yatra outreach programs and other curtain raiser programs. Like this, programs are happening across India. Actually, 4 Vigyan Yatras virtually also started from the 30th November. That is the birthday of Professor Dr. Jagadish Chandra Basu, about whom Avadani ji just talked about. One from Thiruvananthapuram Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology. Similarly, virtual yatras from Guwahati, Jammu and Mumbai also started on that day. And as we know, on 22nd, the birthday of Srinivasa Ramanujan, the virtual program India International Science Festival starts. But within these around 22 days, a large number of programs like what is happening now are taking place, and people are discussing about various aspects of Indian science. On 11th, there is a program at CNS, like that, Bangalore, like that. So many programs are happening. We know it starts on 22nd, that is the birthday of Srinivasa Ramanujan, and concludes on 25th. That is the birthday of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who scored Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan. Professor CSP Rao sir quoted. Why we call this India International Science Festival? We know that India is a land of festivals. There are, I am sure, all of us would have been celebrating one kind of festival or another every year throughout our life. And as Avadani ji mentioned, many of these festivals also give a very subtle message. For example, Vijayadashmi, it gives the message of victory of good over evil. Similar with Deepavali. On Guru Purnima, we think about how a teacher enlightens the student and how that tradition of learning has passed through generations in our country, which is very unique actually. Maybe it will be very surprising for many of our Western friends to know how we respect our teachers. So all of these festivals have very subtle messages, but they are delivered in such a way that people enjoy. They become part of it and they celebrate. That is how many of these festivals are designed. And when you enjoy and be a part of it, then you imbibe the message in a very positive fashion, and without much of a resistance. So that is the beauty of festivals, that very naturally you imbibe the message. And that is probably one of the reasons why this was called India International Science Festival. So which is a celebration of science. We know, just like Harshavardhanji talked about in his message, that one of the basic ideas of this festival is to take science and technology to the masses. And when we say masses, it encompasses all the various segments: students, teachers, professionals, scientists, technocrats, youth, children, and the general public. So there are programs designed for every type of person. Actually, when we last year there were about 23 components of India International Science Festival. This IISF, like NIT Andhra Pradesh, it also started in 2015 in Delhi. IIT Delhi hosted that program. The second one was hosted by National Physical Laboratories in Delhi. The third one at Chennai, Anna University and NIOT and various IIT Chennai, various other organizations. Then in Lucknow, and last year it was in Calcutta. So in Calcutta, we had around 23 components of this program. What are the components? There is a program on science teachers workshop, where science teachers from all across the country converge, and they are being part of a workshop where people like H.C. Verma and Achyut Shankar, such top leadership, scientific leadership, academic leadership in science, they address them. Similarly, we have a program like Science Village, where around 5 students from rural background of every constituency, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha of this country. So it will be around 2,000, 3,000, 3,500 students. They come, they are divided into different houses. Then they go through a very structured program. They visit different labs, they interact with scientists, they have discussions, they see science movies, and based on that, they undertake some programs, some experiments like that. And we have had many Guinness Book of Record events as part of IISF. I think around 6 or 7 records have already been attained by IISF program. There is a program on industry academia interaction. Like that, there is a program of NGOs, social organizations of India. Then there is a ministerial on of science and technology ministers of different countries. Last year, around 7 countries were represented. There is a meeting of science and technology ministers of all the states. So from school students to science and technology ministers, policy maker level, all sections of the society become a part of science celebration as part of India International Science Festival. Why science is important? That also Harshavardhanji said. Because science and technology and innovation drives the development in social indicators of every society. We know we are in very interesting time. 25 years back, mobile telephony was non-commercial mobile telephony was introduced in this country, and today we have around 1.15 billion plus mobile users in this country. In urban areas, the density of mobile telephony is almost 150% plus. In rural areas, nearly 60%. And it is this connectivity, this explosion in connectivity that helped us during the COVID times. Now we are talking through, we are having this program virtually. So many students, the classes are happening even in NITs and IITs and medical colleges also. They are happening over net, virtually. Classes are happening. For school students also, classes are happening through TV channels and also through school teacher-student interactions in WhatsApp and like that. So this huge network infrastructure, digital infrastructure has been explosive. It has changed lives like anything. Just last week, maybe 2 days before or something like that, India is a leader in this. We have the second largest network, internet and the mobile telephony network in the world. And also just 2 days back, Bill Gates talked of how our digital payments network can be a role model for other countries. We know the UPI system that has been introduced in India, and Google Pay and Phone Pay, all of us would have used it. So this has enabled, even during COVID times, non-contact cash transaction was enabled through this at a huge level. So this is a huge transformation in the past 2 to 3 decades that has happened. And most of you, the students who are joining the NIT now, most of you are may not be aware of a time when there was no mobile available. It may be very difficult for you to imagine that kind of a situation. Only landlines were available. If somebody goes out of his house or where the phone is, then it is not possible to contact him. Then came the pages and then the mobiles, and now this situation where we cannot even spend a single day if our mobile is not available or that connection is not available. So it causes a huge amount of difficulty for us, stress, because the mobile is not there. If somebody is not calling us for 1 day, then it is a big problem. But there was no mobile 2.5 decades before. Nobody had a mobile kind of thing. It was a big news when T.N. Session had a satellite phone over his car that people could talk to him when he is traveling. And today it is the other way. If it will be probably a news if a chief election commissioner doesn't have a mobile. So that is the situation. But this is actually a mid stage. We are going to see much more changes, many more changes. Changes like artificial intelligence, the fourth industrial revolution. These are going to drive the future. And that is where the future technocrats of India who are joining NIT now, they have to play a very important role. So we have to understand that India's contribution to the global GDP was very significant till the 1750s. It was almost 25%. And now we are struggling with 1.5%. There is a person called Angus Madison. You can Google him. Angus Madison has done a study of the global economy from AD 1 to 2000. So till around 18th century mid, India and China contributed to more than 50% of global economy. And India and China were number 1 and 2, anywhere between 20 to 30% at different parts of the time. Only in the past 2.5 centuries, India had gone back. Why I am saying this? Because this kind of a global leadership in economy is possible only when there is innovation. And we have been a very innovative nation all through those years. But after when we were, as Avadhaniji talked about, when we were under foreign rule for a sustained period of time, especially under the British, lot of our wealth, both in terms of intellectual property and as wealth, was looted from this. That is how Shashi Tharoor wrote this book, An Era of Darkness. There are so many artifacts. Only recently, Prime Minister Modi ji also talked about Annapurna's statue, which was stolen from Varanasi, Annapurna Devi temple, being sent back. It is only a very good example, one small example of how much of wealth, treasure, and culture was looted. Symbols of culture were looted from our country, and now a small part of it is coming back. So this innovation has been a part of our tradition. Professor CSP Rao Garu and Avdani Garu have talked about the scientists and their contributions. Just mentioned about it. We can learn about it much more. Now, Professor Avdani talked about Panini. There is the father of structured linguistics. When we talk about artificial intelligence, now linguistics come into picture, because we have to talk to machines. What is the best way to talk to machines? How the machines can understand our this thing? Of course, there is machine language and all, but when there is increased interaction between man and machine, how that can be facilitated? That is why now there is a huge emphasis on in linguistics. And structured linguistics, father of structured linguistics is Leonid Bloomfield. You can Google it. Leonid Bloomfield talked about Panini as the greatest monument of human intellect, because that is Panini in his Ashtadhyayi has structured language. We know Bernard Shaw, who called for somebody to structure the English language, and he would give him a fortune. That is an award that is there even today. We know there are different issues about phonetics and pronunciation in English. There are many, a lot of fun about it. So, Sanskrit is a language which is the most structured. And Rick Briggs, I think, he had done a paper on how it can be used as a computer language. There is more research that is possible in that direction. But anyway, now in this age of artificial intelligence, where the language is a major component going to be, we have Panini and his Ashtadhyayi, which has been mentioned as the greatest monument of human intellect by the father of structured linguistics, we can say, Leonid Bloomfield. So that is the level at which our intellectual contributions were. And Vigyan Bharati also has a Sanskrit connection to its beginnings. The founder of Vigyan Bharati, Professor K. Vasu, he was a faculty of Indian Institute of Science. He has guided one of the largest number of PhDs, I think around 156 or so. So there was a provision for learning a foreign language in IISc at that time. You can learn German, French, Japanese, like that, Spanish. But since Vasuji knew about the contribution of Indian scientists in the ancient times, and most of that is in the language of Sanskrit, he thought of learning Sanskrit instead of a foreign language. But there was no provision to learn Sanskrit in IISc then, and probably today also. So that is how he started contacting some Sanskrit organizations, and he learned about it. And then they came to know the amount of knowledge that has been there in Sanskrit, and how, because we have a language gap, we don't even know about it. So that is how slowly in the 80s, Vigyan Bharati started. It started as a memorial lecture of C.V. Raman on his birthday, that is 7th of November. And slowly there was this understanding that Indian contributions to science and technology are not known even to our own students, and which is necessary for us to get confidence and lead the world in science and technology. So slowly he started the Swadeshi science movement. First roots of it took place in Kerala, and later on it became a national movement, and today it is an international movement. We have units in all the Gulf countries called Science India Forum. Thousands of students, tens of thousands of students, actually 25,000, 30,000 students appear for our Vidyarthi Shastra Pratibha exams, which talk about all the Indian contributions to science from Kanada to Kalam in UAE alone. Like that, in all Gulf countries, this exam is conducted. In India also, it is one of the largest online examinations. So that is how this organization took shape. And one of the programs that we undertake is science congresses in the local languages, because innovation and mother tongue, it has a huge connection. If we look at many of the countries with the largest number of Nobel Prizes in science, we can see that most of their education, especially at the formative ages, happens in their mother tongue. And this is, we can see that there is a paper by Samkrant Sanu on how innovation and original thinking is supported by learning in mother tongue, at least at the formative ages. That is the reason why in the new national education policy, education in mother tongue in the formative years has been given a prominence. We can see this. We can do some research and see how Israel. Samkrant Sanu says that he was leading a Microsoft team in the US, and one of his teams were operating from Haifa. So after some time, a few years, he once went to physically meet them. That is when he understood that all of their coding was happening in Hebrew, and only when they have to give it outside, probably there is a translation. There is a translator, and it is getting translated. So it was a very first experience of this kind to him. And we are talking about Hebrew, a language which till 1948 was only like, it was broken up. We know that Israel is such a small country, and with a small population which was fragmented across the world. Only in 1948 they came back after thousands of years. So that language they were talking about, Hebrew, was different in different countries. There are Jews from Russia, there are Jews from India, there are Jews from other countries. So they have a mix of local language. So they literally reconstructed language, and today they are coding and doing their science in Hebrew. But that has helped them in a strong process of original thinking. So what we do at Vigyan Bharati is we have science congresses where people can present their papers in local languages. We have a national program on Bharatiya Vigyan Sammelan where people can present in their local languages. So we want to get out of this trap of only English can be in science. See, if we today European Union after Brexit will have no English speaking country left. So unfortunately we have missed that bus. So we have to, India is rich with languages, and linguistics is going to play a very important role. And that way, both all the national languages as well as Sanskrit can be a big contributor in the future, and also our scientific learning in local, our language, mother tongue, can go a long way. Then there will be questions about what will be the connecting language and all that. In today's world of Google Translator and all those devices, actually connecting language is not an issue. It can be very easily managed. That is what technology has provided us. And now coming to IISF, I just want to share one small experience during the 2017 Chennai IISF. We had two yatras starting from Rameshwaram, that is where the monument for memorial for Dr. Abdul Kalam is, which is called Kalam Yatra, and one from Coimbatore. So the Raman Yatra, the last program was in one of the prestigious institutes near Tamil Nadu, in southern Tamil Nadu. And a scientist, reputed scientist, had given the talk. So he asked them, the students were from final year BTech of that prestigious institute. So he asked them, can you name the Nobel laureate who won the Nobel Prize in Physics, the only Indian Nobel laureate in physics? Not a single student could answer that. So that shows how little we know about Indian contribution to science. It is a huge contribution. From, we say it is Kannada to Kalam, from the ancient to modern. Just like Avdaniji talked about so many names in the modern era, he talked about Bose Institute. Even in electronics, Bose was around 6 decades ahead of his time. That is what some of the pioneers in electronics have said. So we can know about all these things. I would conclude with one small interaction between, how many of us know that there was a meeting between Swami Vivekananda when he went to Chicago in the 1986 and Tesla. All of us would have heard about the name Tesla, Nikola Tesla. Actually, Tesla is now famous, made famous by Elon Musk with his Tesla name for his company. But Nikola Tesla was a great technocrat. And in 1985, when Swami Vivekananda went there, he had a meeting with Tesla. And before he met, Swami Vivekananda wrote a letter to his friend. And in that letter, Swami Vivekananda said, Mr. Tesla thinks that he can demonstrate mathematically that force and matter are reducible to potential energy. I am to go and see him next week to get this new mathematical demonstration. In that case, Vedantic cosmology will be placed on the surest of foundations. I am working a good deal now upon the cosmology and eschatology of the Vedanta. I clearly see their perfect union with modern science, and elucidation of the one will be followed by that of the other. We know that Albert Einstein came out with this equation, E is equal to mc square, but that was almost a decade later. Tesla could not, though they interacted, and Vivekananda told Tesla about that one force. Once you learn about that, all physics will come to an end. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. But Tesla could not complete his research in that. Actually, it was Albert Einstein later on who came with this equation about mass and energy. And by that time, Swami Vivekananda had passed away. But we can see through this interaction between Tesla and Swami Vivekananda how spirituality and science, they can converge. The foundations of spirituality and science can converge. That is another area where Vijnana Bharati is giving a stress on. And today is a time when only we have the advantage of our great insights in spirituality, and also the advantage of the advances in science and technology. So as Indians, we have the unique advantage of taking forward this thought process of Swami Vivekananda, of where he said that once they can demonstrate mathematically that force and matter are reducible to potential energy, Vedantic cosmology will be placed on the surest of foundation. There is a lot of research happening across the world on matter and consciousness, and this is one area where we have a lot of strength, and I request for students to be bold and go into this such studies, learn more about how our science and philosophy and were not different, but they were complementary. The motto of Vigyan Bharati says, Avidyaya mrityum tirtha vidyaya amritam ashnute. That is about what we may call the secular knowledge and spiritual knowledge, how they are complementary and how they can take us to eternity. That is the that is a sloka from Ishavasya Upanishad that we have in our prayer. And today we are in a situation where the world is recognizing it. That is why when Narendra Modi ji talked about World Yoga Day, there is such an acceptance across the world, all over the world, except a few handful of countries. They accepted it. And today we see that when the COVID comes, yoga plays a very important role in keeping us immune or enhancing our immunity. So yoga, how yoga was accepted by the world, because it has been evolved upon not just exercises but about the mind also. There is one small message by Swami Vidyaranya in his Panchadashi, where he says, there is knowledge, there is the known world. When one is born and as he grows up, he comes across many people whom he knows by their name, their past and everything. There are various places which he knows. There is a lot of knowledge that he learns from his studies and readings and observations and everything. So that is the known world. There is so much of knowledge. There are so many places, so many people, so many things that he doesn't know. So there is the known world, there is the unknown world. But there is a very important third pillar, and that is the knower. So it is the third pillar that is missing from the way what we say about the Western science. Whereas the Eastern sciences have taken care of the third pillar, that is the knower also. Who am I? So there has been a lot of research into that. So we have an opportunity to learn about the latest technological advances, make use of them also, and at the same time we can also try to learn about what our ancestors knew and combine both of them for growth and betterment of humanity. That is why the motto of this year's India International Science Festival has been Atmanirbhar Bharat, that we have to be working towards self-reliance and also global welfare, because our growth is not intended to be destructive to anybody else. India has always been a very peaceful country. We have been a peaceful nation and peaceful society, and we have always said Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, let good come to the world. That has been our prarthana all across. So that is the motto of this year's India International Science Festival also. I am very thankful to Professor CSP Rao Garu for requesting all the students, faculty and everyone to register for this IISF. There are about 40 events, especially for technology students. I think there is Industry Academia Conclave. There is a program on games and toys because of this new emphasis on Atmanirbhar Bharat. There is Industry Academia Conclave. Then there is a International Science Film Festival. There is a Congress of the History of Science in India, and National Startup Conclave, as well as Navbharat Nirman, Building of the New India. So these may be some of the programs you are interested in. Please visit the site scienceindiafest.org and you can register on the website. And thanks once again to Bharatiya Vigyan Mandali, NIT Andhra Pradesh, all the authorities, Shastri ji, as well as Professor CSP Rao, Avdani ji, and all others. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Today our keynote speaker, Sri Vivekananda Paji, sir, you have really enlightened us towards the science for self-reliant India and global welfare by citing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So you have quoted several past stories and our knowledge how it was stolen and how to retrieve this knowledge by giving so many examples from BC to AD. We are really thankful, sir. And now, may I now request our Associate Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Viresh Kumar Garu, to give vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Over to Dr. Viresh Kumar. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shastri Garu. Good evening to one and all present here. Respected Director, Professor CSP Rao, In Charge Registrar, Dr. Dinesh P. Shankar Reddy, today's chief guest, Professor P.S. Avadhani, former Director, IIIT Agartala, Sri Vivekananda Pai, Secretary, Vibha, Deans, Associate Deans, Heads of various departments, faculty, staff, and my dear students. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this auspicious moment. I take this opportunity to thank our Director, Professor C.S.P. Rao, for giving us the permission to organize curtain raiser of a 6th India International Science Festival IIFC 2020 at NIT Andhra Pradesh and actively participating in the ceremony by sharing his visionary opening remarks. Thank you so much, sir. I thank our in-charge registrar, Dr. Dinesh P. Shankar Reddy, for his support and for sharing an overview of our institution, NIT Andhra Pradesh. We, the family of NIT Andhra Pradesh, thank our guest of today's curtain raiser function, Professor P.S. Avadhani Garu, former Director, IIIT Agartala, who gave us an overview on the introduction to 6th India International Science Festival, IIFC 2020. Sir had briefed us the importance of the Science Festival. He had elaborated the various initiatives to be observed during the program. I thank the keynote speaker, Sri Vivekananda Pai, Secretary Vibha, for his excellent talk on science for self-reliant India and global welfare. Thank you so much, sir. I thank Professor Ravikiran Shastri Garu for coordinating this curtain raiser of 6th IISF at NIT Andhra Pradesh. I thank our colleague Dr. Arun Kumar for being a host in organizing this curtain raiser ceremony successfully. Our director, sir, one information to all the participant also guests. Our director, sir, has also served in DRDO before joining at NIT Andhra Pradesh, who took over. Who did a lot of work in R&D activities. So, as our Professor Shastri Garu told in the introductory ceremony, so sir has done a lot of work with respect to the science and developing new materials, new technologies, all other things. And he has taken over as director of NIT Andhra Pradesh on 22nd March 2018. So from there onwards till date, Sir is continuously motivating all the faculty members to involve in the research activities and to develop science gadgets, electronic gadgets, so many things. Thank you so much for your motivational, motivation and guidance, sir, Professor Rao Garu. Then further, I am very much thankful to all the deans, associate deans, heads of various departments, technical staff, research scholars, students for actively participating in the inauguration of IISF 2020. I take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Deepika for broadcasting this particular program in YouTube Live and WebEx link without any hiccups. Finally, I thank all the people who are directly and indirectly helped us in organizing this event. I once again thank my director, Professor CSV Rao Garu, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
So, with the permission of Honorable Director, sir, guest of honor, chief guest, keynote speaker, and all dignitaries on and off this function, we are closing this curtain raiser function. And I hope with the call of our director, sir, student programs will be continued. Students have to be there. With the call of director, sir, I request all the students to register this IISF, and even Guinness Book of World Records also it is there. So you can get the certificate if you actively participate. You can bring the laurels, because this will be given by the government of India, this certificate. You can bring the laurels like it is a Olympics. Even in the virtual mode from your house you can do, and this will be noted in Ministry of Science and Technology. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Viresh Kumar, Director, sir, Registrar in charge, and all the keynote speakers, and Professor Avdani Garu and Vivek Paji. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. So I request all the students to unmute and give the claps. Give the claps.
Give the claps for the.
Thank you. Thank you. So Shastriji, we can leave, right?
Dear students, I have a couple of announcements, and don't sign off. I mean, don't leave this platform. Be here. I have to make a couple of announcements.
Thank you, Viresh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. My dear student friends, this is Viresh Kumar, Associate Dean, Student Affairs once again. Tomorrow, now after this session, actually we had a scheduled address by all the heads of the departments to respective branch students. Respective branch students were asked to join their particular departmental groups, but now since it's already close to 5 o'clock and within 15 minutes it will be very difficult for us to convey all the information related to the departments within 15 minutes. It is very difficult task. So as of now, that particular program is rescheduled, and the new dates and timings will be let you know as soon as possible. And second announcement, again, by using the same Cisco WebEx link, I request all of you to join once again our Associate Dean exams. Dr. Nagesh Bhattuji will be addressing you all. He will be, giving you information about the examinations, what is the examination procedure, what we follow at NIT Andhra Pradesh, and branch change information. Most of you would be very much interested to change your branches after first year. So what is the rules, regulations or procedure to be followed? All those things will be addressed by you, addressed to you, addressed to you by our Associate Dean Exams, Dr. Nagesh Bhattuji. Okay. After that will commence at 6 o'clock, right? So tomorrow morning we have a guest, Dr. Rajdeep Mawani. He is a professor at Jain University and he's a very good speaker. He is a very good TEDx speaker. He had been to a lot of colleges where he has given a lot of motivational talks. And at this point of time, I would like to inform you that Dr. or Professor Rajdeep Mawani, he can't see. Okay. There was some incident in his childhood, so because of that he lost his eyesight. But he has done PhD from, I think 2 universities. He has 2 PhDs and he's a professor at Jain University, Bangalore. So tomorrow morning, please don't miss that event. And one more important thing, it will not be on Cisco WebEx platform because he is not familiar with the Cisco WebEx platform. So that is why morning session will be done on Zoom app. The link for joining the Zoom and other credentials will be communicated to you tomorrow morning. Okay. So as usual, tomorrow morning, same by 10 o'clock, 10 dot, the program will start. Okay. Program will be from Professor Rajdeep Mawani. And afternoon session, again, it will be on Cisco WebEx platform. Okay. Only morning session would be on Zoom app. People who do not have Zoom app, please install it. Okay. Please remember, tomorrow morning we will be meeting again in Zoom. Again, today evening program or today evening address by Associate Dean Exams will be done on Cisco WebEx by using the same link. Today, same link. Tomorrow morning, Zoom. Please understand this thing. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening.